So next up in our Nouveau Greetings card bundle is the Wildflower card. And as I've mentioned over the last few months, we have begun including solid score lines. Now this is a good example of it. You can hopefully see it. It's very faint. You can see the little score line there. That's solid using the solid score tool in the Cricut Maker. Now one thing that I noticed though is, let me show you an example here. Now this is perforated, and you can see how much easier it folds. Okay, you can just take it and it folds. Of course, the appearance isn't as great, but if you just take just your fingernail, you can smooth that out, and you don't really notice it that much. I don't think so anyway. But this, I don't think it scores deep enough. And even with this card, specifically because this isn't solid, it's a very delicate piece. You may have to take this over with your scoring tool and score it again because it just isn't deep enough. But that time it worked out. I'm just worried that sometimes if it's not deep enough and you fold it, it'll misfold and you'll end up having to recut. So just be careful with the score marks there again. All right, so the assembly on this guy is going to be pretty straightforward. What we're going to do is, now this piece is for the envelope. The rest of these pieces go with this. So it's 5 pieces total, very simple. And we're going to take and put together the main design here. And what you want to do is, you want to work with the more complex, intricate piece first, meaning that's where you're going to apply your glue. Don't try to apply your glue here, because you're not sure where you're going to put it, and it's going to show through if you do it that way. So start with this piece here and get your glue onto the more intricate part, which is this piece here. And just make sure that you cover the perimeter nicely, and then do your best to work the little details here. You don't need to get it on every single inch of this. Just a few spots here and there will get the job done for you. Okay, so got to work kind of quick because there's a lot of area and this glue tends to dry really quick, and it's already drying down here. So I'm going to reapply real quick and then maybe add a few more little dots here and there while I've got a moment. But when you apply this, I'm kind of looking at the bottom there, the bottom scallop or bottom circle, using that as a guide, and then just making sure that everything is aligning nicely. I had a little glue shoot out there, so I didn't want to press that down. And just push down all over the design here, just to make sure that all those areas where we did put the glue down are holding nicely. And you can see what we're ending up here with as far as the design goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw a little bit of glue on a scrap piece of paper like that, and I'm just going to pop it right under in these little areas here where it's sticking up, just to make sure that it doesn't stick up. So just kind of giving that little area a little extra attention, and there we go. Now it's nice and flat, everything looks great. Okay, moving on, you want to find the next, the next least intricate shape, which is this green piece here. And you can see what's happening here. We're just kind of building the layers to construct the overall appearance here. But again, make sure that you're putting your glue on the more intricate piece. Okay, and again, make sure you're getting that glue out to the perimeter so you don't have the little edges peeling back. Focus on that, and then just little dots here and there throughout. Don't worry about getting glue on every little inch, and if we miss something, we can always go back in and paint it. Okay, so again, I'm kind of working down here. Well, actually, I kind of fixed my gaze onto the flowers here since that is cut out. I'm just trying to make sure that those are nice and aligned. And the bottom should be nice and aligned, and then just give that a press. I mean, all these cards are pretty self-explanatory, but If you are new to Dreaming Tree and you want to try something that isn't a freebie, that is a paid file, and you want to make sure that it's simple, I'd go with this. It's a pretty straightforward project. It's very much like scrapbooking. You're really not doing anything majorly three-dimensional. Okay, so last piece here, again, work on the more intricate piece of the two, being this one. Let's get our glue on this piece here, all the way out around the perimeters, all the way out here, and then just a few little dots here in these areas for the flowers, our little wildflowers. And let's get this piece down. Now it's going to be helpful to look at the bottom here, the round little half circle there at the bottom, and then fix your gaze along the sides. Make sure that that's all matching up, and then press down. Great. Okay, well there you go. And I noticed here that I do have, despite my efforts, got a little bit of glue that just kind of poked out, and I'm just going to wipe that off with an X-Acto while it's still kind of wet, so that it doesn't leave that glossy sheen in that spot there. But even if it does, it's a really tiny little dot. You're not going to notice it. Okay, so that's that. Very simple. There's your main design. And then we're going to put this little piece on the inside, and you can see how it's kind of cut out on one side. That's going to be your bottom. Okay, so do that. Let's get our glue on the back of this guy. And just make sure that you get it out to the perimeter. Just real quick. Don't worry about being perfect with this. And just make sure that you get it nice and centered. Leave a nice border all the way around. Get it nice and level and even. That's about right. Yeah, that looks good. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. All right, so press that down. And there's our beautiful card. And I'm going to add a few little rhinestones in these little holes here, and then 2 more on the bottom, and get this thing ready for my envelope. As far as the rhinestones go, and one thing that I mentioned in the previous video, and something that I've mentioned in the past as well, is you always want to make sure that you're adding a little bit of glue to your rhinestones so that they don't fall off. That adhesive on the back, I don't trust it. And you take a little pick-me-up tool or whatever it is that you use, just dab the back in some glue and pop it right in there, just like that. Grab your other one. If you want to do it with your fingers, you can. This tool is pretty handy. It comes with a little pick on the other side so that you can use that to hold it in place as you pull this away, because this little tacky piece, it's tacky, of course, and sometimes you need something to kind of hold it in place. So you can see how tacky that is. It's sticky, but it's not going to last forever. This glue bonds, and rarely does it come unbonded. So we're going to pop a little rhinestone down here, like that. And let's get this guy. Come on, mister. There we go. And I'm just dipping it in a little bit of glue that I put on a scrap piece of paper. And just position it, hold it down, and press it down. There we go. Okay, so your card is all set there. And let's take a look at our envelope, which of course is included with your download, your purchase. Very simple. 2 pieces. Okay, I don't know what that is. And just want to fold everything at the score marks, first and foremost. Very simple. That piece is already folded. We've got this little piece that's going to give our flap a nice 2-toned look. And you can see how that is going to sit once we get it glued down. So just like before, grab your glue and apply it to the more intricate piece, which in this case is the flap. Okay, and just a few little dots here in these little details, just to make sure that that doesn't peel back. And I'm gonna add a little more there. And the best way to do this is just to kind of lay it flat on your table, edge it right up to where the score mark is, make sure it's centered, and then just fold this over right on top of this piece, and then you can fold it down and press. And there you go. That's what that should look like. And to finish it off, we're simply going to take a little bit of glue on each of these tabs and try to get that glue out to the very edge if you can, just so that it looks nice and professional and neat. So that seam looks nice and clean. And I'm just going to spread that thin so it doesn't warp the paper. And then take this side and just simply press it down onto the tabs. Make sure it's nice and aligned, nice and even. And just run your fingers along the edges here to finish that up. Okay, give that a few moments to dry. If you want, you can kind of put it underneath like my work mat here, just to make sure that it dries nice and flat. But here is our final card, beautiful colors, and you can see that that is going to fit in there nicely, and it is ready for the post office or hand delivery, whichever you prefer. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the process. If you did, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. And if you make this or any of the cards from our new Nouveau Greetings bundle, we'd love to see it. So check us out in the official group on Facebook by doing a search for Dreaming Tree Group in your little Facebook search bar. And hope you had a great time, and I look forward to crafting with you again.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.